Hello everybody, welcome back to another stream here on youtube.com/SeanOsaurusRex. I'm Sean, we're still on the PlayStation 2, and we are playing MLB 11, the show. And by playing, I mean watching. We have 4 games for you, I'll commentate them for you, you know the drill. Dodgers and Reds, excuse me, that was a wheel spin game. We're going to watch that first. Then we'll check on the Twins and the Guardians. Those two teams are closer than you might realize. Braves and the Cubs was a game I was going to cover yesterday, but skipped out because it was a pitcher that I didn't like watching. And then we'll go back to the Marlins and the Rockies. Wasn't the best game yesterday, but the two teams do have the best records that are playing against each other, and it feels a little silly to avoid it. There's also a bunch of series that, frankly, just aren't that interesting. I did forget to fix this, so we'll mute that, because we're on MLB 11, the show. Let's jump in. Today, we are going to look at that Dodgers-Reds game. I'm just going to double check. No. Because if I skip one, then I got to figure something out. We got a couple of guys who have the same record, though McDonald's pitched a few more innings. Has a lower ERA, 1 fewer hit. Interesting. Boy, I guess those hits he's given up have been pretty damaging. But welcome on in, everybody, to the stream. Happy Sunday evening. Hopefully the Sunday scaries aren't getting you too bad before we head back to work, I guess. Let's see. What do we got going on here? Oh, they add more dates. West Coast. They going anywhere interesting or close? Seattle, Washington in March. Okay. Shoot. I don't think I'm going to be able to make that, but that would be an incredible thing to go to. Welcome to Cincinnati. I apologize for immediately getting distracted. Juan Pierre, he leads things off for the Dodgers. The 2K5 legend is the designated hitter. Carlos Beltran in center. Ryan Braun in left. Adam Dunn at first. Michael Stanton in right. Ryan Doman is the catcher. Wilson Betemit at third. Gordon Beckham at second. Cliff Pennington is the shortstop. Did we watch this game yesterday and I didn't realize? No? When do we watch? When do we have the Dodgers? Oh, we have watched the series. Okay, whoops, that's my bad. It was 2 days ago. That's on me. Whatever. That's fine. It's all good. Let me move this. About James McDonald is 5-4 with a 3.66 ERA, 11 games, 32 innings pitched, 32, 4, and 21. The 21-4 strikeouts to walks is fantastic. Let's get that there. I need to delete some stuff. I did not realize that we had watched this series. We're getting to the end of the season. The brain's falling apart, all right? Juan Pierre, batting .308. There's also a possibility that we get, like I've been talking about for a couple weeks now, we might know who the cover athlete is here in about 48 hours, which is pretty exciting. Here's the righty winding and firing. It's a 1 pitch, 1 swing, 1 out. Juan Pierre with a lot of speed. You want to get him on base and see what he can do. 4-point lead for the Seahawks at the end of the third quarter, 31-27. That's been a back and forth contest. I mean, the Seahawks have been in the lead, but Carlos Beltran, 225 average, couple of home runs, 13 RBI. Unfortunately, I don't get to watch the game. Because the servers are all full. But we can still try. We can reload and see if we can get in. Oh, we can get in. All right. We're in, folks. We're in. All right. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is upstairs for a ball. 2-0 to the number 2 batter. So the only strike he would have credit for, granted it's a small sample size, but the only repeat from yesterday is Miami and Colorado. Oh, that's fair. No, we were in, but now we're not. Okay. Video cannot be played. Can you please? Golly. Yeah, server's at its capacity. It's all good. Let's go with David. Good to see you. Got a full count now. 3-2. That one was fouled away. So a payoff pitch from McDonald. Low, and that will be ball 4. Catcher does a nice job blocking it, but it doesn't really matter. I'm going to bring up Ryan Braun, batting .287. 2 home runs, 17 RBI, a couple of stolen bases on the season for him. See if the Dodgers can get going early in this one. Pitcher likes what the catcher called, and he will wind and fire. That is a dangerous curveball, but it's going to be held by the ballpark. Right fielder makes a couple steps back and makes the catch. He's throwing up that little off-speed pitch, is not getting where he needs it to go. Braun's going to want that pitch back. He's a little off the end of the bat, sliced on the opposite field. So it'll be Adam Dunn, .299, 5 home runs, 13 RBI. Two outs with 1 runner on first. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is a strike at the knees. Maybe seemed a touch low, but they'll call it how they call it. 0-1 to the lefty. That one stays way upstairs. Good take. Sometimes we see some batters get real aggressive when they think they can get to something, and that pitch just had pretty good ride through the zone. He needed to drop just a little bit to clip that upper portion of the zone. That one's way inside. Saw maybe the worst strike call of the season in one of yesterday's games. It was brutal. Thankfully didn't affect the game because the very next pitch the batter got a hit, but still, that's not what you want to see at all. Here comes a 3-1 pitch. Dunn takes a walk. Okay, so we got what? 4 batters up. 2 batters were first pitch swings and outs. And then the other 2 have been walks. The only question I would have was batter number 3, a 1-pitch out. Out to right field. Ryan Braun, 0-0. Thought about swinging. They'll appeal down to first. He did not go. Braun indeed was a 1-pitch, 1 swing, 1 out. I'll say no. 1-0, 2 on, 2 out. Both aboard via the walk. Here's the righty. He'll wind and fire. That one's well outside. Does a nice job to make the adjustment and make sure that he doesn't even think about swinging on that one. Here comes the 2-0. It's a nice location. He really wants that outside part of the plate. First one was close. Second one not there. Third one he finds a nice spot to make it 2-1. And that's a strike on the inside, so it works west to east on him. That pitch has been a little dangerous. And he's hits that one just barely in front of him. A swinging bunt will be out number 3. Los Angeles puts two aboard, but can't do anything with it. No score heading to the bottom of the first. Let's get you set with the Cincinnati Reds lineup. It's led off by Grady Sizemore, the center fielder. Michael Young at third base. Nelson Rad Cruz in right field. Ty Wigington at first. Logan Morrison in left. Daniel Murphy at second. Ryan Spielborz, the designated hitter. Lucas May as the catcher. And Starlin Castro at the shortstop position. So it's a 4th and 10. That's probably a 61-yard field goal from there. Probably can't do much with that. Anibal Sanchez, 5-4 with a 5.67 ERA, 11 games, 27 innings pitched, 33, 9, and 17. So it looks like they'll punt him back to the 10. Plenty of time to work with for both teams. We are here in the bottom of the first. We're doing a lot of one pitch, one swing, and a foul ball. Doing a lot of time travel today. We'll be moving from the current day, 2026, back to June 9th, a.k.a. 6-9, a.k.a. Noise, 2011. As this is skied to the second baseman. And out number 1 is recorded. So an aggressive start for this Reds lineup. The righty. Ooh, gets that outside. Both pitchers now for the Reds and the Dodgers have been able to hit that edge of the zone for a strike. Did take the Reds pitcher 3 attempts at it. That was a more impressive sounding sentence until I thought about it. Tries to go low and get the swing, but nothing. Comes up empty, 1-1. Wind and the pitch, swung on and missed. Sanchez here is doing a very nice job keeping it on the edges of the zone. He missed one low, sure, but both strikes have been right there. That was maybe the most hittable pitch he's seen, but got jammed as it was on the inside. 1-2. The count remains. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is rolled over to third base. Fires across the diamond, and there is an out. Nelson Rad Cruz, 6 home runs, 22 RBI. Good looking average there. And he will be next. Working with 2 outs. Here's the wind of the pitch. It just misses low. Ball 1. Righty winds and fires, sliced and foul. More foul than I thought it would be, and obviously with that camera angle, it's going to be a foul ball. Just sometimes fun to see how close it gets to being a home run. It's a long strike to make it 1-1. That is low for a ball. The righty winds and fires inside. Gets the swing and the miss from Cruz. If he was going to get any piece of that, it was likely going to be weak contact in front of the catcher or a foul ball. Here comes the 2-2. Cruz spoils this one. Deep into the seats. And, whoa, that should have been a ball, but Cruz goes all out with a swing. That pitch made the catcher stand up. Wow. Dome it, bet it. And I was so locked in with what he was doing. Beckham. is the last batter. He'll miss that pitch low for a ball, 1-0. Ooh, he's going back to that curveball. Feels like a dangerous pitch. It feels like he is going to get burned on one of those kind of looping, slow pitches. It hasn't happened yet. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is rolled foul up the first base line. And that will miss low as well. Two and two. Ooh, gets him on the outside looking for strike three, and that will be an out. It's a really nice pitch. You can see it there. Just gets that outside edge. 93 on the 93 miles an hour on the four-seam fastball. And that will set him down. Wilson Betterman leads the NL in hitting with a .429 average. 3 home runs, 14 RBI. See what he can do here against the right-handed pitcher. That just completely missed the catcher. Okay, time for that to happen. Nobody's on base. 1-0 the count. That is rolled foul up the first base line. And spoiled foul. Foul, foul. 1 and 2. Takes a ball inside. Nice patient at bat here. Probably why he leads the NL in batting. That ball makes the count 2-2. And he will drive this into center field. It's the first hit of the game for either side. It is a single. Third base runner of the game so far for the Dodgers. They were aboard in the first with 2 walks. One out here in the top of the second. That pitch, he's missed a couple of those in the dirt. First one got past him, which was okay because there was nobody on. That one in the dirt, a little more dangerous. Nicely blocked by the catcher, considering there is a runner on first base. That one swung on and smashed foul. Balls kind of have some lift here. Second or third foul ball we've seen go up into the, deep into the stands. And he won't get burned on that again. There's one and over to first for 2, and that will retire the side for the Dodgers. They pick up a hit, but it's hit into a double play that the pitcher initiates. I said it didn't burn him again because he went with that big looping curveball or changeup, whatever it is. And whatever it is working. Ty Wigginton has a .253 average. 3 home runs, 7 RBI. The righty winds and fires. It is outside for a ball. Here comes the 1-0. I thought maybe that was a hittable pitch, but lets it go by for a strike. And that is spoiled foul. That is low for a ball. Rams are in the red zone. 1st and 5. That is hit and spoiled foul. The good news is if the Seahawks give up a touchdown here, it'd be 34-31. So they just need a field goal to tie. And either way, whoever wins the NFC Championship game, foul ball, will be looking for revenge against the Patriots. Both teams lost their last... both teams have lost to the Patriots in the Super Bowl. I did forget the Rams won the Super Bowl over the Bengals. That was a tough game to watch. Here comes the payoff pitch. It is fouled away. Winds and fires. Hit to third base. Scooped cleanly and fired to first. And there is an out. Logan Morrison's batting .317. A couple of home runs. 10 RBIs and a trio of stolen bases. And that's going to be a fair ball. I thought that was maybe going to get pulled foul because we see so many of them in that situation pull foul. But the throw from right field, they shouldn't have. Why did he cut it off? The runner for Cincinnati was not that quick. Not to be rude. Oh, that's why. That's why that was such a weird play. It hit foul. We're going to watch the replay here on this, because it's going to be a double. That is going to, we'll watch it down the line here. We don't even need, it doesn't matter down the line or not, but as this pitch comes in, it is going to hit right there and spin into fair territory. And that is a fair ball. What a... Why did that do that? Oh, God dang, this camera is brutal. What an unbelievable turn of events for the Cincinnati Reds. That is hit, spins, foul. And is a hit. Wild. I thought that looked weird. Couldn't exactly identify why, but we found out. Did not go on the swing. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is low for a ball, so that'll put a runner on second. The weird thing is the back end of that play is funky because the runner, Morrison, didn't seem like he had enough speed, and the right fielder came up with a pretty nice throw, but the cutoff threw everything off because there is just no rhythm in this game. It's not very smooth. The relay throws really are not helpful to the defense. A 3-0 count here. Bottom second, 1 on, 1 out. No score. And that's fouled away. Bit of an aggressive swing, but I think that's a little more in a hittable location. Typically, the pitchers on a 3-0 like to try to play the edges a little bit, as the zone can at times get a little wide. And usually with 3-1, they are pretty aggressive. They're not aggressive in that situation. Seattle might be escaping with a victory to go to the Super Bowl. A 4th and 4 is an incomplete pass from Matt Stafford. Oh man, I think you maybe want points in that situation. A 4th and 1, sure. Because you're trying to get a touchdown to take the lead. A 4th and 4, I don't know. I think you take 3 and use your timeouts and lessen how much field you need to get. Put the defense in a bind to the best of your ability. Here's a wind and the pitch, and that'll be driven out towards right field. The right fielder is chasing it, but it's gone! 5 to 6 rows deep into the stands, and that will give Cincinnati a 2-0 lead. So the funky play comes back in the most positive way for the Reds. It helps them get 2 instead of just 1. This ball just seemed like it was carrying out towards right field. It's a good time for the Reds to take a lead in the bottom of the second. 361 majestic feet out into right field to bring up Lucas May, the catcher, who is just zeros across the board. No average, home runs, RBI, stolen bases, nothing. Here's the wind and the pitch. It's inside. Still just 1 out. Oh, it's 3-0. What? I forgot it was a 3-run home run. My bad. Hold on. I forgot about a walk, didn't I? Yeah, there were 2 on. Whoops. I completely forgot about a walk that happened. That is an out to second base, and that will bring in Starlin Castro. It's a 3-0 lead for Castro with 2 gone. Okay, that's all right. We're locked in. We're dialed in. We're figuring it out. We're learning how things work. That is foul up the first base line off the wall and rolls into right field, but foul. 0-2 with 2 outs in the bottom of the second. Swung on and missed. Castro got real aggressive with a swing there. Pennington, Pierre, and Beltran coming up for the Dodgers. The last chance for them in the top of the third. Cliff Pennington with a .262 average. 6 RBI. A couple of stolen base. No home runs. He is the 9-hole hitter. 3-0 on one swing of the bat. Misses that pitch inside. I think you'd want to be a little more aggressive if you're the Cincinnati Reds pitcher. Solo home run only gives them a 2-run deficit. You still have a little bit of room to work with. That gets the high outside corner for the strike. 1-1. Here comes the 1-1. Stays way upstairs. Two and 1. Catcher sets up inside. Pitch doesn't really meet where the catcher is. It leaks over the plate just a little bit, but the batter fouls it away. Makes it a 2-2 count. And that is rolled foul up the first base line. It will remain 2-2. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is hit into left field. That will be a leadoff single for the Dodgers. So a good at-bat there to produce some offense. Here's one out there, got the pitch. It wasn't quite as far out as the catcher probably wanted it. Gave the batter an opportunity to slice that into the opposite field. And that'll bring up Juan Pierre. No home runs, but does have 8 RBI. A lot of speed with a .306 average. And you could see that speed in his first at-bat. It was a 1-pitch, 1-swing, 1-out at-bat. But by the time the ball got into the outfielder's glove, he was 3/4 of the way to second base. And here is what he can do with that speed. He can bunt it for a hit. 2 on, nobody out. Really beautifully placed. The pitcher's the only guy that's going to have a shot at it, and he didn't have a shot at it. So the Reds in a bit of a precarious position here as a tying run comes to the plate. It's Carlos Beltran. 225 average. Just a couple home runs. 13 RBI, though. And he'll take a ball like right down the middle for a strike. That is a wild pitch to take. My goodness. How's it going, walk-off? Logged on just in time for most exciting play in baseball, a bunt. Every time they bunt, I think about you. I just want you to know that. To catch you up since you're just joining, Cincinnati hit a 3-run home run in the bottom of the second. That is why we are here. The Dodgers have had runners on base in every inning so far. A couple of walks in the first inning, a hit in the second. It was erased by a double play immediately. And now a hit and a bunt to put 2 on board to bring Beltran the tying run to the plate. And that is how we got here. Oh, and 2. That's a little inside. I don't think you want that pitch in that location, or that type of pitch. A slider is going to break in and maybe hit Beltran. That's going to load the bases. Here's the righty's pitch. It is low for a ball. Here comes a 2-2 with 2 on. That is hit out towards right field. That is going to be gone. We are tied 3-3 to bring up Ryan Braun. What kind of pitch was that? It was bad. It wasn't the pitch I thought he was going to get bit on, which was going to be that awful curveball or changeup or whatever he's been throwing, because sometimes it just kind of stays right in the middle. But that ties the game. There's out number 1. Adam Dunn worked a walk in his last appearance. That is in for a strike, high inside corner. The righty is ready with the pitch. Dunn spoils that one foul. There it finally comes back into the frame. I was waiting for it. I wish I could sponsor a video for you where you try high-end frozen pizza. I would donate the money for all the pizzas. What kind of high-end frozen pizza are you talking about? Because I like the idea of like, hey, here's a brand that I really enjoy, or, you know. We just bought a frozen pizza today. That is fair. Yeah, it's a fair ball. Tossed to the pitcher in time for the out. Quickly 2 away. Cincinnati bouncing back nicely after giving up the 3-run home run. Michael Stanton's 0 for 1 today. 7 home runs on that .232 average. The Cooper Cup, did they just save the Mariners? The Seahawks season fouled away. I love that the animation doesn't even change when the when they swing and break the bat. It just is like the regular animation. Stanton dumps that into center field. He'll have a single with 2 outs. Rouse, Frechetta, anything $8 or higher. There's a good pizza that we have in this area. Oh, what is it called? It's available at like local grocers. They're like $10 a piece. I can picture it. It's like a buffalo chicken that's really good. They're very expensive, but very good. I'd love to see your reaction to it. Are they available in my area? That is hit out to left field. That will be out number 3. We'll look it up here. RAO's Pizza. Oh, like the Screamin' Sicilian. Oh, okay. No, that's a different thing. Brick oven. Pasta sauces. Brick oven. Here's a Safeway. We have those here. $15. Oh, man. You'd be going for the record of most expensive items that I've had on the show. It's inside for a ball. $12.99 each with a membership at Safeway. We got Wild Mikes. Those are $10. That is sliced out towards left field. It's going to have too much air under it, and that'll give the left fielder time to get over and make the catch. Unknown as I do not know Washington markets. That's true. I can take a peek. Here's the righty. Ready and outside for a ball. Is that going to do it? Darnold pass short right to JSN for 14 yards. It's a first down with 2:28. I'm sure every Seahawks fan is having a heart attack every time they drop back to pass. 2-0. Gonna get a delightful smattering of Instagram reels of like Rams fans being like, Seahawks are never gonna win. I had a ton of them when the Seahawks beat the 49ers. I saw so many of them that were like Seahawks fans writing down their excuses for when they lose to San Francisco, and it's like 41-6. Like, okay. Then you have San Francisco players, and this is not the first time that San Francisco players have done this, saying that it would have been a blowout if they were fully healthy. And they said that when they lost to the Eagles a couple years ago, too. That is going to be hit into right field. Should just advance the runners base to base, station to station. Ty Wigington, 0 for 1. He's batting .250. Go ahead, or the winning run, I should say, is on second base now. 1 out. Here's the wind and the pitch. Good take by Wigington on the inside. 55-10 Super Bowl 49ers versus Bengals. That's true. That is high in the high corner for a strike. I mean, it's got to be. Just keep the ball on the ground, Seattle. You don't need to do anything fancy. And that is out into the left field gap. That will do. That's a 3-run walk-off home run. That ball just kept going. I thought that was just going to be like a game-ending double. No, it cleared the wall. So we had a 3-run home run in the bottom of the second, the top of the third, and the bottom of the third. Wild. Cincinnati wins kind of a weird one, honestly. 9 total runs, but just on 3. Largest Super Bowl score difference, 45 points. Yeah. The one I think of is the team that I go to. We'll get you wrapped up with this. We'll talk about that in the loading screen. Ty Wigginton 1 for 2 with a walk-off 3-run home run. James McDonald improves to 6-4. Anibal Sanchez falls to 5-5. Beltran's third. Wigginton's fourth, and Spielborg's third home run. 6-3 your final. Bit of a misleading score. 6 runs on 5 hits versus 3 runs on 5 hits. 43-8 is one that pops into my head, but that's obviously not enough points difference. What was the 85? What was the Super Bowl? The Bears Super Bowl score? Oh, well, that'll do it. A defensive holding. I think it'll end that game. Seahawks are going to the Super Bowl. So get excited for the Pacific Northwest. White Sox over the Yankees 4-2 as we catch up on some scores. Red Sox over the Angels 2-0. Nationals over the Phillies 2-1. Ooh, that could benefit the Marlins, who played well in yesterday's game against the Rockies. Astros over the Mets 1-0. That was the game that we watched. We will slide down to Guardians and Twins. A closer matchup than you might expect. Cleveland has been in front, in the lead at the top of the AL Central for a large majority of the season. They've been slipping a little bit. Kansas City's been able to catch them, and Minnesota shockingly close as well. Let's see. I guess I could just look up largest Super Bowl victory. Not that hard. Let's see. I don't want to look up Chicago Bears Super Bowl. That seems like a bad plan. While it's loading, be sure to remember to like the video if you're enjoying it. Subscribe if you're new. Ring the bell if you'd like to be notified. (30-27). Oh, the Twins are 27-32. Okay, this one's on me. I thought they were closer. They're 3 games out. It's not awful. But the Minnesota Twins also have 2 extra losses. Julio Bourbon will lead off. He is the center fielder for Cleveland. Victor Martinez is behind the dish. Carlos Gonzalez in left. Jason Giambi at first. Kenneth Bolton in right. Eric Abar is the shortstop. Brent Morrell at third. Raji Davis is the designated hitter, and Maicier Istruis is at second base. Let's see. So where is 1985? I'm sure has its own thing. 83. The Refrigerator Perry. Randy Wells 2-7 with a 7.30 ERA. 11 games, 24.2 innings pitched, 37-14 and 11. That's very bad. 11 strikeouts to 14 walks. Yikes. 37 hits doesn't really help. Super Bowl Shuffle. Oh, so Super Bowl 20. Goodness gracious. Nope, not 2026. Gosh darn it, Sean. Super Bowl 20, 46-10. That's only 36 points. Yeah, we'll look it up. Largest Super Bowl win. It is indeed what you were saying, the 45-point defeat. Niners over the Bengals, 55-10. Number 1, 45 points. Number 2 was the Bears game that I was thinking of, 46-10, 36 points. Tie was number 3, or number 3 is a tie. Dallas Cowboys 52, Buffalo Bills 17, and Seattle Seahawks 43, Denver Broncos 8 with 35 points. Why did the second baseman run out of the way? He had the play. This game is going to break me. And then Washington over Denver, 32 points. Super Bowl 53 could have been a rematch. That is driven out towards the left field. The left fielder's going to come up with the out as the runner between first and second stops and watches. He'll hustle back to first, and that will be out number 2. 1:15 left. Of course, I don't have a running clock on this app that I'm refreshing because the site doesn't work. The servers are full, people. That Super Bowl party at the draft zone is going to be popping off. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is outside for a ball. One zero. Runner on first with 2 outs. Got a piece of it, but drives it foul. That's a little more carry than I was anticipating. In for a strike. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. It is rolled to the shortstop. He comes up with it clean. What happened? Why did the game look like it turned on a lag switch? What was that? It didn't look like he came up with it clean, and then the ball looked like it was way behind the dude. Whatever. It's an out to end the inning. Minnesota, their lineup looks like this. Center fielder Dexter Fowler. Shortstop Yunel Escobar. First baseman Kendry Morales. Left fielder Marcus Thames. Right fielder Lance Berkman. Second baseman Chase Utley. Catcher, Yadier Molina is behind the dish. Melvin Moore at third. Roger Bernardina is the designated hitter. Okay, so it's 25 seconds left. They were able to punt it down to the 7. Los Angeles has 93 yards and not a lot of time to do it. Jeremy Hellickson, 4-5 with a 3.68 ERA. 11 games, 29.1 innings pitched. 31, 14, and 20 hits, walks, and strikeouts. 45 hits and walks to 20 strikeouts. 20 to 14 I think is a little high. I don't think you want to quite that. A little more decisive. We are underway here in the bottom of the first. No score. And there is the first pitch to Dexter Fowler in for a strike in the high outside corner. Down to 10 seconds. This Seahawks-Rams game. Spike the ball to stop the clock. That is in for a strike. Oh, man. Got that high outside corner. Got the inside edge. 0-2. Yeah, I was going to kind of figure in that Dexter Fowler was going to end up being pretty aggressive with the location of those first couple pitches. He was going to have to swing because not a whole lot to hit. Just fair. Nice job by the first baseman to kind of dramatically spin, turn, throw to the catcher covering. Looks like Seattle took their final timeout. Get their defense set and ready. 1 away. And that'll be rolled over to the third baseman who fires off balance in time. That'll be a 1 pitch, 1 swing, 1 out to Escobar. And that'll do it. It's a deep right pass to Puka Nacua from Matthew Stafford. To midfield for 21 yards. Witherspoon with the tackle, and that is it. 31-27, your final. Seahawks-Patriots is your Super Bowl this year. A rematch of the infamous Super Bowl that the Seahawks lost on the throw to Deion Branch or whatever it was. Here comes the 0-1 with 2 outs, and that is hit to the second baseman. Twins are retired quickly, and we will head to the top of the second. No score. An invisible man will lead off. Kenneth Bolton with a 241 average, 1 home run, 8 RBI. And that stays upstairs. Ball 1 to the leadoff hitter for the second inning. Yeah. And that'll be rolled over to the first baseman, who throws to the pitcher covering. Nice job by the pitcher to just kind of keep moving. Like, don't worry about trying to pick up the ball. Somebody else will get it or call you off if you don't need to worry about it. Hawks win, yeah. Eric Abar. Oh boy, a pitch so bad it's good. It just clips that outside edge. 0-1. Seahawks to the Super Bowl, which is wild. That is swung on and missed. They lost the game to the Rams 21-19. They beat them in that wild Week 16 game. Crushed the 49ers. Hopes and dreams twice, which was pretty cool. And that is out to left field and makes the catch for out number 2. Marcus Thames with the catch. Brent Morrell. Yeesh. Do not like that batting average, but we'll see what he can do here with 2 gone. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is outside for a ball, 1-0. And that'll be hit to the third baseman. Does a whole 360 spin and throws to first in time. So we are burning through this game quickly. Nobody really doing anything offensively. 1 hit total. It belongs to Cleveland. There is no scores. We'll head to the bottom half of the second. The 4, 5, 6 hitters coming up for the Twins. Marcus. Thames? Boy, I thought that was maybe a little bit high. Or maybe even a touch inside. Did not think that was a strike is the better way to phrase it. It's 0-1 as the umpire gives it to him. That is sliced foul. There it finally comes back into frame. Foul ball. Here's the 0-2. Gets the strike called on him. Goes down looking. That's a quick out number 1. First pitch, I don't know. That third pitch did look pretty good right at the top of the zone. But even if you didn't think it was going to be a strike, if you watch that pitch come in, he's already called something that seems maybe a little high. Ooh, and I think that induces the swing there. Give the umpire the assist on the out. That is a very quick out number 2. Of course, even if you think in that scenario, if it's going to be a call to strike, and you don't have to swing at it. If it's 2 strikes, sure, but... Pitches in at the knees for a strike, 0-1. Thought about it, but stayed back. 1-0. Here comes the 1-1. And that'll be hit to the third baseman. He does the spinning 360 to fire across the diamond. That will retire the side. Weirdly similar plays for each side to end their half of the inning defensively. Davis, Istruis, and Bourbon coming up. Not a lot of offense in this game, but at least it's going quickly. We had a game that was slow and no offense recently. It was a brutal watch. This one we are already in the top of the third. That one's fouled away. All right. That is driven foul. 0-2. That is swung on and missed. Quick 3-pitch out there for Cleveland to start the third. Istruis steps up. I mean, it's a good-looking average. Can he do anything with it, though? That's the question. Takes a nice pitch on the outside. That's fine. Not going to do a whole lot with that. Let it go. 0-1. Easy peasy. Swung on and missed. That is low for a ball. Here comes the 1-2. All of that seemed weird. Thought about swinging, no appeal. Spotted the zone that's kind of been called a strike weirdly. It's a ball to make it 2-2. That is spoiled foul, so he'll stay alive. That is inside for a ball to fill the count. Here comes a payoff pitch. Can't find the one. Pats belong in the Super Bowl. The Pats being in the Super Bowl was not on my 2025-2026 bingo card. I don't think it was on anybody's. Certainly wasn't on mine. It just makes it an even more brutal, as we watch a walk, an even more brutal end of the season for the Bills. Now you're talking about Bo Nix breaking a bone in his foot that ended his season in a game that you lost. But the Josh Allen turnovers were bad. That's driven foul. So a runner on first here for Cleveland. One out in the top of the third. No score. And that is going to be knocked out to center field. That's a really nice use of a hit and run. Advances the runner all the way over to third. And the go-ahead run is 90 feet away. I think the Patriots benefited a little bit from kind of the AFC being a mess. They're a good team, but there were some significant injuries to the Ravens, to the Bengals. That is in for a strike. Really tanked their seasons. Well, the Bengals defense tanked their season. The Chiefs not being 100%, I think, helps as well. But hey, you play who you play, and that's... I get it. I respect it. 1-1. I'll be curious to see who they favor in the game. I would guess that you would favor the Seahawks, because I think the NFC had maybe a bit of a better opponent quality. Safe at first is going to score the run. The Twins cannot come up with the double play to end the inning. Instead, it's going to be a 1-0 lead. I don't think that was really his bat. It's a slow roller. I mean, it's an underhand toss, so maybe. Just enough speed. Just enough speed plus underhand toss equals safe. 1-0 Cleveland. We're going to see how badly the game punishes the Twins for not being able to turn that play. Well, they'll punish them with at least a double. I don't think they'll send that runner around third, but you never know. He will hold at third, so it'll be a double to put two in scoring position. Every Bengals fan I have seen blames it mostly on head coaching and front office not firing the head coach. Two of the most surprising non-firings in the NFL have been the Bengals and the Packers. You don't blow an 18-point lead in the fourth quarter and keep your job in the playoffs. Not that long after blowing a 10-point lead in the final 2 minutes of the game. That's upstairs. But then, oh, man. Yeah, people are not thrilled that Zach Taylor is still the coach. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is rolled foul. Twins just need to get one more out without too much more damage here. The crowd is loud here. And that is lifted out to right field. The ballpark will hold it. There's out number 3. So the failure to turn the double play almost gets disastrous, but it does just result in one run. 7, 8, 9 hitters, Molina, Mora, and Bernardina coming up for the Twins. Yadier Molina, 16 RBI with 3 home runs. And that is low for a ball. And Molina, oh, what rotten luck for Molina. A leaping grab at the shortstop position, and that is one gone for the Twins in the bottom of the third. That is outside for a ball. Two and oh. The wind hand the pitch, and that is really. That was a strike. Really. Do we? Okay, hold on. We'll do what we did with the last one. We're kind of like right on here. We'll take a look at it. That's not a strike. Holy moly. That's not the worst strike we've seen, but it's bad. Never came close to the plate. So a bad break for the Twins. Instead of a 3-0 count, it's a 2-1. They'll get a strike on the inside again. That one looks a little bit better. I think the first one looks worse because it's breaking away from the plate, like toward the batter. Here's the wind and the pitch on the 2-2. It is lifted in the left, but that will be out number 2 as the left fielder makes the grab. Twins down to their final out and a chance at getting no hit. Roger Bernardina, a 187 average, 1 home run, 4 RBI, no stolen bases. That is spoiled foul. And that'll be rolled over to the shortstop. Comes up with it, cleanly fires over first in time, and that will be the game. Minnesota falls 1-0. One successful turn of a double play changes the complexion of this game and makes it so that instead of a 1-0 lead, it's a 0-0 game. We're heading to the top of the fourth. Instead, Cleveland with a nice hustle up the first base line, or good speed, takes advantage of an ill-advised decision to underhand the ball to the second baseman, and that's your difference in the game. 1-0. Cleveland over Minnesota. You know what? It's what probably wasn't a smart pick on my part, but mercifully it was fast. So thank you to Cleveland. Thank you to Minnesota for that. Jeremy Hellickson's going to be your player of the game. 1 strikeout in 3 innings. Didn't give up a hit. He improves to 5-5. Randy Wells falls to 2-8, though not necessarily his fault. The defense didn't help him on that one. I mean, there's your line. Hellickson, 3 innings pitched, 0s across the board with 1 strikeout. The 9 total batters faced as the Twins get blanked 1-0. We are going to be heading to Chicago, I believe, is our next game. Scroll, back up my notes. Yes. Braves and Cubs. These last 2 games are actually good, I promise. Not like the one that we just watched where I went, ooh, those records, not great. Pirates over the Padres, 1-0. Blue Jays over the Royals, 2-0. Okay. Go Blue Jays, kinda. We watched the Guardians defeat the Twins 1-0, and we will head down to Braves Cubs. These teams separated by half a game, 1 extra loss in the Cubs loss column. And I believe the Cubs won game 1 of this series. Let me flip the thumbnail. Oh, change. Why would I want to download a thumbnail I already have on my hard drive? Thanks for asking, YouTube. And thanks to everyone for watching. Remember, if you're new, be sure to subscribe, ring the bell, you'll be notified when I post new videos. If you're enjoying the content, hit it with a thumbs up. Free, easy way to help the channel. Thanks so much for hanging out. I appreciate it. And we welcome you to Chicago. Atlanta is 31-26. The Cubs are 31-27. Both these teams chasing down the Marlins or the Rockies? No, Marlins, Rockies, or Phillies? No, it wouldn't be the Rockies. Might be chasing down the Diamondbacks. Danny Worth is the Atlanta Braves shortstop, and he will be leading things off. Gabby Sanchez at first, Josh Hamilton in left, Andrew Jones at center, Jeff Francoeur in right, Howie Kendrick at second, Ross Glode is the designated hitter, Mark Tien at third base, and AJ Przinsky is the catcher. Little lefty lane there at the bottom of the lineup. Chris Capuano, 6-3 with a 3.41 ERA, 11 games, 31.2 innings pitched, 28, 11, and 19 hits, walks, and strikeouts. There is your Chicago Cubs defensive lineup. Danny Worth, ooh boy, I don't think this is the leadoff that you're looking for. A 167 average. But he's up there to face the lefty as we look to get underway with game number 3. Here's the wind and the pitch. It stays high for a ball. 1-0. Good job by the leadoff hitter here to make sure that he takes that pitch. Those leadoff hitters love a first pitch swing. That is swung on and missed. At least it was in the strike zone. Maybe not the compliment I think it is, but hey, it is what it is. The lefty winds and fires. That's outside for a ball. And that is hit up the third base line into left field. He is going to hit the bag at first, and he'll turn back. Didn't get super deep, and it looked like the throw was going to be pretty accurate. It did cut off weirdly. Gabby Sanchez follows up. He also has an average under 200, so a funky lineup here for the Braves. It must be because it's a lefty on the mound, but they have shuffled some of these righties into the upper part. That's outside for a ball. And pitch number 2 is lifted into right field. That is going to be, actually it's going to drift over to the center fielder. And that is out number 1. Josh Hamilton leads the NL in home runs with 14 of them. Of the first 6 batters, he is the lone lefty. Then it's a little lefty lane at the bottom of the order. See what he can do here against this left-handed pitcher. They're going to put the runner in motion. The pitch is low. The throw is out. I don't know why I was going to say it was safe, but he was out pretty clearly. But sometimes, I don't know. This game, I don't know. Thought about swinging a peel down to third. He did go. Bad couple of pitches for the Braves. An extra strike and an out. That is outside for a ball as well. 2-0. That pitch, I mean, must have been just on the edge. The lefty rolls it to second base, and that will retire the side. Atlanta picks up a hit, but it's thrown out on the steal attempt. No score heading to the bottom of the first. All the games have gotten off to a bit of a slow start. Michael Bourne in center field. Martin Prado in left. Troy Tulowitzki is the shortstop. J.D. Drew in right field. Josh Thole. He is at the catching position. Derek Barton at first. Travis Ishikawa is the designated hitter. Alberto Calespo at third. Ricky Weeks at second. What channel is the Super Bowl on? Oh, whoops. NFL. Super Bowl is on NBC. Okay, cool. Thank goodness I have Peacock, so. Mike Pelfrey, 9-1 with a .79 ERA. 11 games, 34 innings pitched. 31, 13, and 22 hits, walks, and strikeouts. I always forget how late the Super Bowl is. It's like 3:30 Pacific. Michael Bourne, .261 average. 1 home run, 5 RBI. See what he can do to get things started here for the Cubs in the bottom of the first. Does he have more? Yeah, he has more stolen bases than RBI, which I guess makes sense in this specific situation, considering that he is the leadoff hitter. How often are they getting the bat around? See him again? Or the lineup around him again? Here's the wind and the pitch. It is rolled foul. Horrible. The wind and the pitch is going to be hit out towards left field. Left fielder comes up with it, and that is an out. Prado steps in, the batter number 2, 21 RBI, I believe is what that said. Did indeed. He'll look to get on base, but takes a ball low. Good take. 1-0. That pitch misses inside. 2-0. Wind, and the pitch is rolled to the shortstop, so the 2-0 is an easy, or a relatively routine ground out to the shortstop over to first. Quickly 2 gone here for the Cubs. Troy Tulowitzki. He's batting a little under 300 and a good collection of RBIs. Last couple guys have looked good in that RBI column. Tulowitzki, big swing on a pitch that was upstairs. 0-1. Righty winds and fires. Tulowitzki spoils that up the third baseline. Foul past the on-field bullpen, which is weird to see for Chicago. But that's the beauty of a 2011 PlayStation 2 baseball game. And Tulowitzki chases high again, gets a hold of it, but drives it foul. That is rolled foul again. Tulowitzki doing a lot of work to just stay alive. He's in an auto swing mode at the moment. I'm a little surprised to see Pelfrey not try to exploit that a little bit more. Right fielder took a look at it, but wasn't going to get to it. And there it is, a pitch that's upstairs. We saw him throw 3 pitches that were above the letters. Tulowitzki chased all 3 of them. Gets the strikeout. Jones, Francoeur, and Kendrick, the 4-5-6 hitters, due up for the Braves in the top of the second. No score. Oh, and that hit him. Okay. It's a little tricky to tell when those are going to hit the batters versus when they aren't, and that thud's a little more startling than you might realize. Pitch is upstairs. I'm a little surprised he went inside against another right-handed hitter, just considering the fact that he literally just hit one. Does miss the batter. And that is low for a ball. Two and out. That is hit and drilled foul. Here comes the 2-1. It's lifted out towards center field. The center field will play it on a hop. The Braves will work station to station and 2 on with nobody gone. I'm so scared to throw this pitch. Lefty trying to get out of a bit of a jam here. Does throw a pitch on the inside edge that gets called for a strike. 0-1. He is set and ready to deal. That is driven out towards left field. It might be a home run. It's going to stay and go into the stands. It's a 3-run blast. The 4th 3-run home run we have seen today. 3 of them in the Dodgers-Reds game and 1 of them here in the Braves-Cubs game. Wow. 367 majestic feet. I wasn't sure just because of the height of that wall if it was going to be able to get there, but Ross Glode will step up. He's happy to be here. And he gets the advantage of a 3-0 lead. 3 runs was not enough for the Reds as they let that lead vanquish. But they were able to get it back with a 3-run victory. Walk-off 3-run home run back there. Spoilers, I guess. Glode not happy with that strike, and I wouldn't be either. That is... It's on the inside. Has a few words with the umpire. The funky strike call does make it 1-1. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is fouled away. Here comes the 1-2. That is rolled up the first base line. He'll stay alive. So Glode's the 7-hitter, which means that it's all lefties to the end of the lineup here, 7, 8, 9. Because it was 4, 5, 6, they all scored. After the 1, 2, 3 were out. Technically in order, but funkily. That's fouled away. I think the funky strike call on the inside forced a swing there. But he's at least able to foul it off and keep it going with a 2-2 count. Good eye there. Nice discipline as that one sails just outside. Three and 2. And that is rolled over. Second baseman comes up with it and fires over to first for out number 1. They'll throw the ball around the yard and look to get a couple more outs. Mark Tien coming in here. The lefty winds and fires that one inside. Gets the swing and the miss. Wonder if Tien is just being aggressive in that situation or if he's swinging based on the previous batter's experience. With that first pitch being, or that one of the pitches being called inside for a strike. We'll take a crack at that, and it'll be out to the center fielder for out number 2. So a nice bounce back here, taking advantage of the at-bats he should have the advantage in. Lefty-lefty matchups. They were shoved down to the bottom of the lineup for a reason, and we are seeing why. Brzezinski stepping in. Lefty is ready. Brzezinski with a good eye to take that one low for a ball, 1-0. And that's upstairs for a ball. And that's hit over to first base. Scoops cleanly and steps on the bag for out number 3. But Atlanta picks up 3 hits, one of them a 3-run home run. Drew will lead things off in the bottom of the second for the Cubs, looking to strike back. JD Drew? AJD Drew Brzezinski. The pitcher is ready to start the bottom of the second, and he'll get a strike call. Make it 0-1. And that's in for a strike as well. A couple real nice pitches there for Brzezinski. That one stays upstairs. Who was the batter? The Cubs batter kept swinging at everything. I forget. Swung on and missed. So did a nice job with a little bit of patience there as the pitcher worked the edges. This is a really hittable pitch just late on the 94-mile-an-hour fastball. Couldn't even get a piece of it to stay alive with 2 strikes. Wait, what? That's awesome. Congratulations, Leaf. I hope you enjoy it. This one is hit foul. Third baseman takes a peek, but it's into the crowd a couple rows deep. Strike 1. Here's a wind and the pitch. It's rolled over to the second baseman. He'll pick it up and fire to first in time for out number 2. Derek Barton batting .219, 3 home runs, 7 RBI. And the righty is ready, winds and fires. He takes a pretty good looking pitch from our angle for a strike, 0-1. Cubs offense not doing anything interesting here. We're going to probably be thankful that the Atlanta Braves were able to score 3 in regulation. 2 gone with an 0-1 count. Here's the wind and the pitch. It's in for a strike again, and he seems confused. Sir, you take the bat, you swing at the ball when the pitches look okay, and both of those were okay. Maybe the first one, sure. Oh my God. If he would have been out on that pitch, which would have been great because it was low, that would have been a brutal third out for the Cubs, who would have clearly just given up. Here comes the 1-2. Swung on and missed. Okay, maybe that's why he didn't swing. Didn't have a lot of good timing going there. Atlanta 3, Chicago nothing. As we head to the top of the third, At the top of the third, Danny Worth will lead things off. Ow. Here is the lefty to wind and fire. Low for a ball. 1-0. It's the call for a strike on the inside. Lefty is ready, and he'll drive this out to right field. Will be and out. J.D. Drew records the out. That'll bring up Gabby Sanchez. First couple at-bats, or first couple batters, I should say, for the Braves don't have great-looking batting averages. The Atlanta Braves, it seems like they got the players that they needed to get, to come through. They came through. Because you're kind of shoving the lefties down in the lineup, because it's a lefty-lefty matchup. You kind of put yourself in a weird position with 2 guys in the top 2 spots of the order with an under 200 average. And then you have the 3-hole hitter who's a lefty. Good, but still, lefty-lefty matchup. So you'd be looking at the 4, 5, 6 to go, hey, get us a run, and we're just going to hold on for dear life as we watch a strikeout. And it's worked, which is weird. Not the most helpful replay in the world, but we get one. Josh Hamilton is batting .340 with 14 home runs. That is low for a ball, 1-0. Now, granted, one of the Braves' top 2 hitters did have a hit. He just got thrown out trying to steal a base. So it's maybe a little extra rude there, but still. I think the thought process is a little valid. That is hit foul up the third baseline. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. And that is crushed, or smacked, or hit, or driven out towards center field. And that'll be an out. So, kind of a weird... sequence here for the Braves. Top 3 batters, all out. Bottom 3 batters, all outs. That middle 3, that 4, 5, 6, they are the hits and the runs. Which, by the way, I did say 3 hits, including a 3-run home run. As a very quick out, number 1 here is registered by the Braves defense. I forgot that one of those guys was hit by a pitch. So it was a hit by pitch as a single and a home run. Alberto Callesto, the 8-hole hitter, looking to keep things going here. 1 gone very quickly for the Cubs. Pelfrey steps into this one. And Callesto takes a ball. 1-0. There's the wind and the pitch. Okay. That wasn't a strike. Odd. Probably not the worst ball that we've seen called, but not great. 2-0. Here's the wind and the pitch outside for a ball. Three and 0. Got to be hands off controller. You're down 3-0. That's okay. I think that's the take that you're looking for. And he'll take that pitch. Maybe a little passive on the swing. I'm thinking about swinging. He hasn't taken the bat off the shoulder. He still is ahead 3-2. Payoff pitch on the way. Catcher set up inside. Pelfrey. Oh my goodness. He didn't swing. I don't know why he's irritated with the umpire. Look at that. That is in the zone, man. A 4-seam at 93. And it'll be all up to Ricky Weeks playing for the rival Cubs to keep this thing going. Here's the wind and the pitch. It's outside for a ball. That's rolled over foul. One and one. 3-0 Braves. Here's the pitch from Pelfrey. It is hit out towards right field. It's going to be held by the ballpark, and that will do it. The Cubs fall in this one 3-0. The Braves put a bit of a funky lineup together, in my opinion, and they come through with a win, so, I mean, it worked out for them. I do think the weirdest decision would be trying to get the attempted steal. But, hey, Atlanta 3, Chicago 0. Mike Pelfrey. Oh, well, that also helps. He has a .73 ERA on the season. What? Did I not read Mike Pelfrey's stats? 3 innings, no hits, 4 strikeouts. He improves to 10-1. Chris Capuano. 6-4. Kendrick's third of the season is a 3-run blast. Did I read his stats? What were his stats? Where was he? Oh, 9-1 with a .79 ERA. 11 games, 34 innings. I just didn't even notice that. That's wild. Okay. Well, that'll do it for game number 3. We are working our way towards finishing up here. Trying to figure out where we were. The Orioles, they improved to 30-30. They win with a 6-4 win over the Rangers. The Rangers. They're still 4 back in the East, but they're half a game or 2 games back in the American League wild card. The question would be is if they have games against the Guardians, the Athletics, or the Royals to try and claw themselves closer. Who was it? What was I talking about? Orioles. I forgot what I was looking at. Blue Jays, no. I think we looked at this yesterday. They do have... Okay, the final 6. All right. Let's jump back into where we were, which was down here. We are going Rockies and Marlins. Or the way I've been speaking, the Mockies and the Rarlins. Rollins? Thanks again, everybody, for hanging out. Best time to subscribe, ring the bell, give the video a thumbs up is always the loading screen so you don't miss any of the action. Get that thumbnail swapped. Welcome to Colorado. 33-26 are the Rockies. 34-23 are the Florida Marlins. As we are set for Game 4 here, Muhammad Haney in center field, Todd Helton at the DH position. Alex Rodriguez is at third, Patton Burrell in left, Garrett Jones in right, Paul Konerko is at first, Orlando Cabrera at shortstop, Jesus himself Flores is behind the dish, and Danny Espinosa is at second. Marlins kind of ran away with this one, though the Rockies were able to score some runs. They just couldn't match what the Marlins were doing. The Rockies had 1 run in every inning. The Marlins had 2 in the first, 3 in the second. Kind of cruised to a victory. The biggest problem for the Rockies was the bases loaded situation. They came away with 1 run that got walked in. Chad Godin 6-4 with a 5.33 ERA, 11 games, 27.2 innings, 31-10 and 31. Kind of like that as a palindrome, hits, walks, and strikeouts. And you like it. I mean, the hits are balanced with the strikeouts. It's a 3-1 strikeout to walk ratio. Not terrible. They just cut the organist off again. You're done. Cindy, why don't you play another note? Right-handed pitcher fires a strike. And we are underway. Game number 4. And that'll be... Oh, I thought it was going to be an out on the sliding stop, but it is not. He is safe at first base. Tried to make a nice play, it just didn't quite work the way that he wanted to. I don't know why I said the word play. Todd Helton batting .258. That's good news for Alex Rodriguez. It's every time we watch the Marlins play. His batting average is great. His RBIs should be higher, but we watch the two dudes in front of him consistently get out, and boy, they're putting him in motion. Helton might have bailed the Marlins out from a bad decision. We'll see if they send him on pitch number 2. 0-1 after the ball is fouled away. They did not give us the score bug back, which was weird. Okay, there it is. I was wondering what was going on there. Here comes the 1-1. It is hit up the first base line. That's fair. That's a fair ball. He'll make the big turn at second. And it'll be runners on the corners for Alex Rodriguez, as the Marlins look to continue their hotness. Now, Diamondbacks were playing what? The Brewers, I believe? Did we get that score earlier in the game? Hang on. Let's see. Let's go. Pause. Full screen. Where? Ooh, gets a strike call. That's not great. Can you... Top of the third. This game was pretty quick. Okay. We'll take a strike low. Alex Rodriguez splashes that into center field. Is what I've been asking for from these top 2 hitters of the Marlins lineup all season long. Give him a chance, and he gets it done for you. So, view today's games. So the Diamondbacks are the team that could benefit the most here. But I don't know if their game has gone through just yet. Though I thought it was in Milwaukee. We're looking. Runners on first and second. Oh, Diamondbacks Brewers did go through. Swung on and missed. I already don't remember the score, which is always good. Oh, no, it hasn't. It did go through. That's hit out towards left center, and boy, the Marlins are keeping the pressure on. That's going to score 1, though the second runner will not score. Runners on the corners here, as it'll go... Oh, that's right, I looked at that. Okay. So, spoilers, the Brewers got the 1-0 victory over the Diamondbacks. We technically don't know that yet. So, Colorado not able to take advantage, or would at least be bailed out by another team's loss, as that is in for a strike on the outside. It's 2-0 here in the top of the first. The Marlins kind of pick it up where they left off. They scored 2 in the first yesterday. Looking to improve on that. Rockies are going to need to get their offense to get hot. That's outside for a ball. That pitch is low for a ball. To the lefty. Three and one. Nobody gone. Runners on the corners. That is upstairs to load the bases for Florida. Uh-oh. Yee-oo. Paul Konerko, 333 average. Konerko takes a strike at the knees, 0-1. That is upstairs for a strike. So Konerko getting some tight calls there to fall behind 0-2. And that'll be rolled past. It's diving shortstop. That'll score 1, but they will just score the one. You can go back to the very first hit in this game. The Rockies tried to get the sliding stop, but couldn't come up with the out. The Marlins have just been knocking it around the park ever since. Though they haven't had the big back-breaking bash just yet. It is 3-0 and the bases are still loaded. Still a big goose egg in the out column. That ball is low. Here's the wind and the pitch. That's on the outside edge. Batter doesn't like it. I kind of agree with him. That is hit out towards right field. It is out number one, finally registered. They send the runner from third. The ball is in. It is a double play. An aggressive send. It did not look like the runner from third got a great jump. Or just really didn't have the speed. We saw it in the first game of the day. The Guardians and the Twins. We saw how a runner with quickness plus an underhand throw equals safe. They're not able to turn that double play. This is kind of the opposite. A runner that doesn't have enough speed plus a good arm in right field equals double play. It's a tough double play for Florida. I think if you had that hindsight 2020, but I think if maybe you thought about that again. They'd been pretty good on the base paths. They had not been too aggressive. But just didn't get it quite deep enough. It's an excellent throw from the right fielder. That's in for a strike. That last at-bat, I believe Paul Konerko, whatever, that at-bat was a disaster. It's 2 outs, 2 weird strike calls. I'm going to be very curious as that's rolled towards third. They'll stand and fire in time. So the Marlins cost themselves at least a run. Let's get you set with the Colorado Rockies lineup for tonight's game. It will be Shane Victorino, the starting center fielder. Stephen Drew at shortstop, Torrey Hunter in right, Carlos Pena at first, Mark Reynolds at third, John Jaso is behind the dish, Juan Rivera in left, Bill Hall at second, Michael Saunders is the designated hitter. Justin Masterson is a right-hander who is 5-6 with a 2.76 ERA. 11 games, 32.2 innings pitched, and that disappeared surprisingly quickly. So we'll grab it on the replay. 30 hits, 9 walks, 23 strikeouts. And we'll see what the Rockies can do here. They have to respond. They weren't really able to do that in yesterday's game. They were able to cut into the lead a little bit, so I guess they kind of were able to respond, but oof, 1 pitch, 1 swing, 1 out. 1 out for the Rockies, just like that. I think even if you're the Rockies, even if you go down 1-2-3, I think you want to have those at-bats take a little bit longer just so you can make sure that you're not getting the Marlins hot bats up super quickly. I mean, this is where they say in the MLB, the show 25 games, like, you want to have a quick inning, get those bats back up there while they're hot. There's a low and outside for a ball. The 2-0 pitch is rolled foul up the third baseline. That's inside for a ball. Okay. Yeesh. Marlins don't really need help to run away with this game, but calls like that aren't making it much easier. Here's a payoff pitch. I thought that was going to be ball 4, but we obviously didn't get the camera shift, so. Masterson winds and fires. That's low for a ball. So a good job to foul the pitch off and stay alive to get on base via the walk. Rockies with 1 on. Just the 1 out. Torrey Hunter. Now, Torrey Hunter came up yesterday with the bases loaded, and my God, he put his A swing on every single pitch. Instead, he'll take ball 1. The 1-0 is hit well by Torrey Hunter out to right field. This should... Oh, they're going all the way to third. The Rockies benefit greatly from a cutoff throw that has just no rhythm or timing. That is pretty incredible. I hope Leaf has a great time. That is inside for a ball. Here's the wind and the pitch. Stays upstairs. Any super crazy game stuff happen? The Braves had a weird lineup. Here's a wind and the pitch. They are going to put a runner in motion down to second. The throw is high and gets him off the bag, safe at second. Not really. Cubs got shut down. Atlanta had kind of a funky lineup against a left-handed pitcher. And they basically needed their 4, 5, 6 hitters to come through, and they did with a 3-run inning, and then that was kind of it. Other than that, not really. The Rockies here are threatening. The Marlins got off to another good start here in the first inning. They scored 3 runs. They had a weird double play out to right field, but the throw from right field was in and got the runner tagging from third. But because the runner was tagging from second, which I didn't really talk about, the runner tagged from second, second and third, which meant that even if he saw the throw come in and tried to get back, there was still going to be a weird play in the middle between second and third. So it was a nice throw in, and it actually really helped the Rockies to keep this lead to just 3. Here's an opportunity for Colorado. It is swung on and smashed. Center fielder is chasing it. It is going. It is going. It is caught. He dropped it. He dropped the ball. They're going to send the runner. Oh boy, there's a disaster on the base paths. I don't know why he's not throwing it to first. They should have had him out at first. Oh my goodness. Runners got hung up in between the bags. Well, there's your crazy thing that's happened in the last 30 minutes. Holy shnikes. He didn't throw back to... He had him out by 40 feet. So the bases stay loaded. It is just 1 away for Colorado. That's the key piece here. Wow. Swung on and missed. He is getting some big swings going here. Yeesh. Well, at least a big swing right there. 0-2. That is hit well, but driven foul. Foul ball. The righty winds and fires, misses a low to the lefty for a ball. Pitcher is ready. Crowd going crazy here. Bases loaded. 1-2. Pitch is low as well. 2-2. In yesterday's game, when the Rockies had the bases loaded, the Marlins did walk in a run. If you're the Rockies, you want a little more than that. You will drive this out towards center field, but this is not going to get deep enough to drive in a run. Do they send him home from third? They will. Here's the throw from center field. Okay, smartly turns back. So it's 2 gone. Jaso can't come up with the big hit the Rockies need. Juan Rivera, I mean, that play literally the difference. That's a double play that ends the inning. My goodness. It does make sense because the hit was out to right field for the Marlins, so it does make sense to try and send the runner from second to third. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is foul up the third base line. And that is into center field for a hit. Thank goodness they sent the runner back. The center fielder throws the ball in, but it's obviously not going to be in time. Not even close to the catcher. 3-3. We have a brand new ball game. This is what you're looking for when you see two teams with good records, two teams that have played well throughout the season. Some back and forth stuff here. Runners on the corners and 2 gone. Ooh, we're going to get the strike at the knees. He definitely did not swing at that. Well, does not get the call on that one. 1-1. Here's the wind and the pitch, and that is fouled away. And that'll be rolled past the diving third baseman. That'll score a run. They will go station to station behind him. It is a 4-run inning for the Colorado Rockies, who now lead 4-3. Michael Saunders go Mariners, batting .340 with a home run and 8 RBI. That's a great take by Saunders, 1-0. That'll be hit out towards center field, got under it a little bit, and that will finally, for the Marlins, retire the side. But the Rockies storm back and score 4. They get a lot more off of the bases loaded situation than they did yesterday. And that gives them the lead. 2 invisible men, and then Helton coming up for the Marlins. Espinosa's going to lead off here. .305 average, a couple of home runs and 7 RBI. The righty winds and fires. It's fouled away. Aggressive swing there. 0-1. That pitch is high and inside. 1-1. That is crushed out towards center. Did he just tie this game? He did not. Ballpark's going to hold it. And that'll be one away. Put some good wood on that one. Victorino, though, comes up with a nice catch. One gone. Muhammad Haney is 1 for 1 with a single and a run. And that's in for a strike on the outside. That one sails high, I guess. I thought it was maybe right at the letters, but either way, they're calling that a strike. Or a ball, excuse me. 1-1. Maybe it's a little bit higher than I realized. Kind of sailed on him a bit. That one definitely sailed. I think it being on the outside corner made it a little funkier to see. Here's the righty. He winds and fires. That's outside for a ball. Here comes the 3-1 fouled away. That'll fill up the count. And a payoff pitch. Here it comes. Winds and fires. They're going to call a strike on Haney on the inside. He is sat down looking, does not love the call. And that's 2 away. Todd Helton steps up to bat. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is a strike at the knees. He is 1 for 1. He has a single and came around to score. Helton did. I don't want to jinx anything, but it's been a nice bounce back for this Rockies pitcher. This is typically what we see. And that is driven foul. I didn't even get to finish the sentence almost before I jinxed him. This is usually what we see. They get off to a hot start. It seems like it's hard for teams sometimes to capture that. This is an out to right field. Granted, we did see the Marlins score 2 in the first, 3 in the second yesterday. But it'll be Victorino, Drew, and Hunter as all 9 batters came to the plate for Colorado in that first inning. They lead 4-3. Victorino 0 for 1. He was a 1-pitch, 1-swing, 1-out guy. And then they just went off. 4 runs on 4 hits. They had the bases loaded. Now get a strike call at the knees, 0-1. He'll already see more pitches than he did in his previous at-bat with 2. That is going to be lifted to second base. So Victorino, 1 pitch in his first at-bat, 2 pitches in his second at-bat, 3 in his third? Who knows? Stay tuned to find out, I guess. Stephen Drew steps up. The Flying Hawaiian. Swung on and missed. The righty is ready. He'll fire that inside for a ball. And that'll be drilled into center field. The center fielder makes the catch. Something he wasn't able to do in that first inning. So bounces back nicely. Torrey Hunter is 1 for 1 with a single and a stolen base. Good for Torrey Hunter. Came through and didn't just Swing out of his shoes on everything. That is hit well out towards right field, but the right fielder makes a diving attempt. He misses it. It'll be a double. The Flying Hawaiian, Shane Victorino's actual nickname. Nice. Due to his speed, or does he have wings? The wings of an angel. Carlos Pena worked a walk, came around to score because he was fast and from Hawaii. That's a fun one. I like a nickname that rhymes. So with 2 outs, they have a runner in scoring position. A good take low for a ball, 1-0. Here comes the 1-0. It is in for a strike. Here comes the 1-1. Ooh, inside for a ball. 2-1. Now the Marlins, the team looking to put the goose egg on the board to keep the deficit at a small margin. Okay. That pitch looked good, but then it dropped pretty nicely and got him right at the knees. That makes it 2-2. It's a nice pitch. Here comes the 2-2. It is hit foul. George! That is hit out toward left field, but the left fielder sees it well and sees it into his glove for out number 3. The Rockies threaten, but do they? It's still 4-3. Alex Rodriguez, Pat Burrell, and Jones. What's his first name? Darn. We'll find out. Those are the batters that are coming up. I don't know. So Alex Rodriguez steps up with nobody on. Not an uncommon sight for him, it seems. That pitch is low, but he is the leadoff batter here. Here comes the 1-0. It is inside, backs him off the plate. Here's the 2-0 with low 3-0. I can understand doing this against Alex Rodriguez. Just look, if you're going to walk him. See if maybe you can get a cheeky strike over. If you're A-Rod, okay, that's a good take. I was going to say maybe let it go, but none of those pitches were particularly competitive. He'll get on first base via the walk, and that is the tying run. The go-ahead run now at the plate. It'll be Pat Burrell, 1 for 1. He has a single and knocked in a run. Righty is ready. He'll wind and fire. Swung on and missed. Strike 1. And they'll throw over to first. Hey, he's safe. We haven't seen a lot of throwovers, thank God. Because boy, do they not work. 0-1. 1 on. Here's the wind and the pitch. It's high and outside. 1-1. Like to see this Rockies pitcher maybe be just a little bit more aggressive. Try to get some more competitive pitches in there. He walked Alex Rodriguez on 4 straight pitches. He threw a strike. But then that ball, not great. That may be a bit of a generous call there. But it's a strike. 1-2. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is, oh, it's going to get away, and that's going to put a runner in scoring position, eliminating the double play. So the runner, or the tying run now at second as it gets away from the catcher. What happened there? Just one of those weird ones where it didn't, this catcher just didn't catch. Here's the 2-2. It is hit out towards center field. It's out number 1. Runner retreats. Alex Rodriguez back to second. Thought Victorino might go to second to try and double him up behind him. Garrett Jones. Okay, wouldn't have guessed that. Garrett is not a name that I think of. 4-3 Colorado. Tying run at second. Garrett Jones takes a strike. 0-1. The righty winds and fires. That one stays way upstairs for a ball. 1-1. Here's the wind and the pitch. That's inside for a ball. 2-1. Here comes the 2-1. Outside 3-1. Oh boy. Now you do have a base open. This game, as we know, because we're on day 63 or whatever, it doesn't handle the double play well. But you can still at least set yourself up for it. That's a strike to fill up the count. So the walk here isn't the worst. I think you just like to see the pitches be a little bit more competitive. He hasn't really taken the bat off his shoulder. He's looked at pitches, and now he's ahead. Here's a payoff pitch with one away. That's going to be hit sky high. Waving everybody off, and that will be out number 2. I froze the runner at first. I wasn't expecting that. Jensen Lewis, 4-game, oh boy, with a 12 ERA, 3 innings, 1 walk, 1 strikeout, a 1-1 record with no saves. He has an opportunity here to pick up a save. I guess it's a good decision. Konerko 1-for-1 with a single and an RBI. I guess Konerko didn't have the weird at-bat. Who had the weird at-bat? I would have busted with the guy behind him. Whatever. That's in for a strike. And it's a good start for this reliever that the Rockies have brought in. Oh and 1. The righty is ready. He winds and fires. Foul. 0-2. Marlins down to their final strike. They scored 3 in the first and haven't been able to put up anything since. Tying run at second. Go ahead run at the dish. Here's the wind and the pitch. Konerko fouls that one off. The count remains 0-2. Let's see if this pitcher, Lewis, I believe his last name is, does he go high? Low, high, low? High? No, he stays low. Gets the swing and the foul ball. We'll look at another 0-2 pitch. He winds and fires. Foul again. I think if you're Lewis, you want to go high and inside. You're working the low outside. Change it on him. Oh, instead go outside for a pretty obvious ball. Not a great pitch. One and 2 with 2 outs. Here's the wind and the pitch. Thought about it. Did he go? No. Here comes the 2-2 way outside. He's getting too cute here. He just keeps working that outside part of the plate. You got to change where you're throwing the ball here. Looking for that one last strike. Payoff pitch on the way. He is set. Winds and fires. Swung on and missed. Wow. Wow. The Rockies give up 3 in the first, and you're like, uh-oh. They didn't really do anything yesterday to come back and make this game more competitive. Then they did. They scored 4 in the bottom of the first. They held the Marlins off the board for the following 2 innings. And they pick up the victory. 4-3 your final here. And this has been a fun series. We'll probably watch the finale tomorrow. Torrey Hunter, your player of the game, 2 for 2 with a double and a single. Chad Godden improves to 7-4. Justin Masterson falls to 5-7. Jensen Lewis picks up his first save of the season. No home runs in this one, which is a little surprising considering how many runs were scored. And that will do it. Let's get you caught up on the final scores. We do know the score of one of the games, but we won't spoil it, mainly because I don't remember it. I didn't have to tell you that, but I did. Let's go ahead and sim to date. Ooh, Mariners lose 1-0. Gross. Bad. All right, where were we? The Brewers defeat the Diamondbacks 1-0. The Cardinals beat the Giants 1-0. The Rockies defeat the Marlins 4-3. This helps out the Rockies gain a 1-game advantage on the Diamondbacks in the West. The Athletics over the Tigers 6-2. The Rays over the Mariners 1-0. This reduces the Mariners' lead in the AL West to just a half a game, as the Mariners have that extra win in the win column. So that will do it. We'll have a bunch of games. 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, 12 games tomorrow. Okay, that's fine. We'll hopefully find some fun matchups to check out tomorrow here on the channel. 6 p.m. Pacific time for those of you who would like to watch more. Again, don't forget, subscribe, ring the bell. You'll be notified when I post new videos. And if you want to give that video a thumbs up, it helps the channel and is free. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. We are just melting this PS2 into the ground. We used it for 3 hours for NFL 2K5 today. We used it for 2 extra hours for MLB The Show. PS2 so far, the most used console I've had this year in January, and we're 25 days in. Thank you again, everybody, for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. We will catch you tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific time. Good night, good sports, go baseball, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.